Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. Today, I'll be talking about my presentation Haiti versus Dominican Republic. So, why did Haiti occupy the DR in the first place? Firstly, integration. The Spanish integrated with the remaining indigenous people by recognizing the native leaders' authority and intermarrying with the locals. The Haitians wanted to feel integrated as well, so they moved over to the DR. Secondly, stable economy. The Haitians occupied the DR because DR's stable economy allowed them to find a way to feed their families and provide for their loved ones. And thirdly, political system. Over in Haiti, there was no political system. The French exploited the land and the people in Haiti, and the Haitians did not want to feel that way. The French were very resentful and overworked and abused slaves. Why were black Americans asked to come, and what kind of life did they build in DR? Most black Americans came from Philadelphia, about 6,000 of them, scattered around the Dominican Republic, some in Puerto Plata, Santo Domingo, or Samana. Who invited these black Americans? It was the president of Haiti, Bollard. I believe that's how you say it. He offered equal land, equal rights, culture, and civilization to these black Americans. And at the time, who would resist such an offer? So in this time, Bishop Richard Allen formed the church, and he as well incentivized the black Americans to attend church and to even own churches as well to spread the religion. They created a prosperous life, mostly in the video we mentioned Samana. How did Dominican workers, slaves, and blacks benefit from the Haitian occupation? During the Haitian occupation of the Dominican Republic, the experience of the Dominican workers, slaves, and black individuals varied and somewhat complex. While it is true that the occupation brought several changes that could be perceived as beneficial for some individuals, it is important to note that the occupation was not universally welcomed and faced resistance from some segments of the Dominican population. Firstly, it benefited them because they had access to education. During the time, the Haitians or the Haitian country had better access to education. So they the Haitians brought their established educational reforms, established schools, and promoted literacy, allowing Dominicans to receive education and acquire new skills. And secondly, political participation. The occupation created opportunities for these people to participate in political life and governance. Haitian authorities allowed Dominicans to hold such power, including the local government and administration. So, those are the two things that I got for these guys. How did Colombia/Venezuela benefit from Haitian support? So, a quick background story. Haiti was under, as we know, President Jean Pierre Bouvard extended his assistance to the revolutionaries in Colombia and Venezuela to fight off the Spanish colonial rule. The support provided arms, ammunition, and military training. Haitian officers and soldiers participated in the wars independence of both of these countries. Their presidents and expertise allowed the Colombia and Venezuela to defeat the Spanish rule. This benefited, or Colombia and Venezuela benefited from the support because they had extra arms, extra soldiers, and they had the gunpowder to beat the Spanish colonial rule. How did Dominican landowners and the church lose from the Haitian occupation? Simple, the government. The Haitian authorities implemented land reforms during the occupation, which included the redistribution of the land previously owned by Dominican landowners. Large estates owned by Dominican elites were often divided and redistributed among Haitian soldiers, officials, and loyal supporters. This led to a loss of land and property for Dominican landowners, diminishing their economic power and influence. Secondly, it disrupted the economy. The Dominican's economy went downhill. The Haitian authorities introduced policies such as forced labor and heavy taxation, which impacted the profitability of plantations and businesses owned by these Dominican landowners. Additionally, the trade patterns and economic ties previously existed with other nations, Spain, were disrupted, literally affecting the economic interests of the landowners. Thirdly, the church suppression. The Haitian authorities, who were predominantly influenced by anti-colonial settlements, implemented policies that suppressed the power and the influence of the Catholic Church in the Dominican Republic. Church lands and properties were confiscated. Religious institutions faced restrictions and limitations. The church lost significant assets and influence during the time, leading to the decline of its authority and its wealth. How did slash do Dominican and Venezuelan bosses use racism to encourage workers in those countries to turn against Haiti? Here are some ways they used to turn against Haiti. Racist prejudice and stereotyping. Dominican and Venezuelan bosses use racial prejudice and perpetrate negative stereotypes about Haitians. They portrayed Haitians as racially inferior, associating them with negative characteristics and stigmatizing their cultural practices. Such portrayals were aimed at fostering divisions and instilling a sense of superiority against Dominican and Venezuelan workers. Economic competition and job security. Bosses in both countries exploited existing economic competition between Haitian workers and the Dominican or Venezuelan workers. They created narratives that framed Haitians as a threat to job security for local workers. By pitting workers against each other, racial lines, bosses sought to divert attention from broader economic and labor issues and maintain control over their labor markets. Lastly, they use patriotism and nationalism to provoke or have hold power over the Haitians. They use this by instilling a sense of national pride and associating it opposite to Haiti, and they attempted to garner support for anti-Haitian settlements. Do Dominican and Haitian workers have more in common with each other, or the bosses in their country? I believe Dominican and Haitian workers shared more in common with each other rather than the bosses in their respective countries. While there were alliances of collaboration and alliances between Dominican elite and the authorities, the overall experience of the working class, regardless of nationality, was marked by shared struggles and similar economic situations. Firstly, the shared labor conditions. Both Dominican and Haitian workers worked long hours for low wages in the hard in the heat and the horrible months of the summer. Secondly, the economic oppression. Dominican and Haitian workers were subject to economic oppression from the same class of the dominant landowners and capitalists in their respective countries. Of course, the bosses sought to maximize profit by keeping wages low and maintaining control over labor. The exploitation of workers and the struggle for being better working conditions and fair wages were common concerns during this time. And of course, cultural and historical ties. The Dominican Republic and Haiti share a history intertwined cultural and historical connections. Prior to the Haitian occupation, both sides of the island were part of the same colonial and slave system under Spanish and French rule. The African diaspora and cultural influence were shared across the island, leading the cultural similarities and commonalities between Dominicans and Haitian workers to be relatively the same. If you stayed throughout this whole video, thank you for joining me and letting me present my presentation. Have a good one.